Mr. Ellison, excuse me, John Upton, Bay Citizen. There's a lot of tensions between your negotiators and city officials that grew in recent weeks. Just wondering how you move past that and work together to make sure that this is a successful event.
Well, at least from our side, we're very excited about being in San Francisco, having a high degree of confidence we can get the village built by 2013. I think the morale of our team and the relationship is very, very high, and we're excited about being here. The relationship we have with the team in the city is very, very positive. This is the beginning, not the end. This is an ongoing partnership. We have to work very, very closely together with a number of people in the city, and I think both sides are highly motivated to make this the best America's Cup that's ever been, and one of the greatest sporting events that's ever been. So I think it's in both sides' interest to do a great job here, and I think we get along fine.
Phase 1 is behind us. We've entered into Phase 2 already, and that's the past. We move into the future, and frankly, a lot of it was wildly overplayed, and we're in very good stead moving forward.
Mr. Ellison, you are going to wind up with a lot of San Francisco, or with the rights to develop a lot of waterfront property in San Francisco. What's your vision for Piers 26, 28, 30, 32, long after this America's Cup is over?
Well, again, I'm not sure I can lay out what we want to do with pier by pier. A lot of those piers are not contributing to the economy of the city. And they could be more beautiful than they are now. And we want to develop them in such a way that's both environmentally friendly, makes an economic contribution to the city, and where residents of the city want to go, whether it's for lunch or a walk by the waterfront, or board one of these wonderful boats and go out for a sail. So we just want to integrate that land and those piers into the life of the city, the economic, cultural, and social life of the city.
There was talk about putting a hotel down on Pier 50. Is a hotel something you would consider for one of the other piers?
Again, we've really focused on the sailing village, not the hotel. So our big focus was by 2013, we want to make sure that if we have 16 teams here, and that's kind of what we're planning for. I hope we get that many, but we want to make sure we can house those teams, their boats, their equipment, make sure all of that's in place. So they can focus on competitive sailing and not worry about logistics and problems with their facilities.
And behind the scenes, we're working on visas. We're working to provide resources for these teams if they want to bring their families out here in advance and send their kids to schools. There's an enormous amount of work that didn't get much attention in terms of how we process. And San Francisco is very good at those things. And our village is already built. It's called the city itself. Our stadium is already built. As Larry said, it's that National Amphitheater, the Bay. But we've got to spruce up these facilities. And a lot of them you can't even access to it, Mr. Ellison's point, there's going to be investment made. That's the legacy of this race that will last for generations. And that's why it's an extraordinary thing from San Francisco's perspective, and why I think so many San Franciscans came to support this effort.
Okay,
Mr. Ellison.
We're going to try to wrap this up, but we'll take two more questions.
Well, question for Mr. Ellison. Winning the America's Cup is an enormous undertaking.
Could I look right over?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So winning America's Cup is an enormous undertaking, and I know many people have tried and failed and left. What is the driving force and the motivation for you to keep on going and accomplish this almost impossible goal?
And there's a personal answer to that, why I wanted to, why I pursued the America's Cup, and then there's kind of a sense of responsibility I have towards the sailing community and turning this from kind of an elitist event into a popular sporting event. And I sail, I sail primarily with professional sailors. I sail on the RC34 circuit with Russell Coots and Jimmy Spittle and all of the guys, and I spend a lot of my time with professional sailors. And professional sailing is not as popular a sport as it could be, I think, because it hasn't gotten the right TV coverage, and the boats we've been sailing on perhaps are not as exciting to watch or sail as, say, watching someone doing backflips over a mogul. It's not, sailing has not been an extreme sport. So we're trying to convert sailing into an extreme sport and make it more commercially attractive. Attract young people, attract more TV viewers, and that would greatly benefit all the people who make their living sailing. I've been a part of that community for a very, very long time, the professional sailing communities, and I have a sense of obligation to them, and that's why we're really trying to transform the America's Cup, the #1 sailing event, into something that is user-friendly, that's fan-friendly. And that's one of the reasons why we're here in San Francisco, this great amphitheater where people can watch from the shoreline. That's why we went to these 72-foot catamarans. We went to the fastest boats that we could conceive of, racing, to make it much more fan-friendly, more TV-friendly, and more commercial. I think that's going to just raise the level of professional sailing to a point where it is maybe not at the level of professional tennis or professional baseball, but getting close, where a lot of people take it very seriously and follow it. The other answer is very personal. I mean, why do I pursue sailing, or why do I pursue my job? I believe human beings are interested in discovering their own limits. And I think life is a journey of discovery. And one of the things you find is the things you're good at and the things you're not good at. And if you think you're pretty good at something, you want to find out what those limits are. So a lot of my life really is testing my own limits, and that's kind of the personal answer to that question.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Larry, for mentioning moguls and backflips. I think that's a perfect way to end this press conference. Big round of applause for everyone up on the stage. Thanks for everyone for coming, and let's celebrate.